drone pilot, car edit enthusiast, but most importantly, real estate videographer. Accumulated over 500,000 views across everybody that he's worked with, collaborated with. Caleb Pearson, welcome to the show.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, bro.
I didn't even know you can make money off of like filming homes. First off, for anybody that's like wanting to get into it, because I think out of any field of media, like real estate is where the bag is at.
Definitely.
When you go out and film, you get like a percentage because you're helping selling the home.
Right.
You know, how do you cover a whole house and make the customer and the real estate agent happy?
Something that's big right now is time warps, which Tim, I know you know what that is. It's basically where you have a shot where it's going at a certain speed and then you speed up the shot at the end of the clip or the beginning or the middle just to keep the attention, you know, very quick and very engaged. Keep the clips going through in a quick order. You don't want to be, you know, staring at somebody's microwave or kitchen sink for 10 seconds in a clip. You got to keep the video rolling and, you know, keep the shots moving through. We're in a business, but at the end of the day, relationships is what's going to get you business. You can be the best videographer in the world, but if you're this dry person or you're terrible at responding to texts or calls or emails.
I've met a lot of people in this field that are like socially awkward, being social, bubbly, put myself out there. I've never been that guy. Head down, I'll give you the best work, I'll shake your hand and I'll call it a day.
Yeah.
But like some people, they came in, they don't even have that. Like they're not nerdy, so crazy about the camera work. They're so crazy about the equipment,
right,
and all that stuff. And then they pull up to your house or they pull up to a shoot. He's not like open, welcome, like,
right,
hey, let's get into work. Like, hey, what are your expectations? All those things go into a part of you solidifying like, hey, I would want to work with Caleb another time, or I would want to work with Tim another time. Shoot, I think the biggest thing is like being open to where like you could see your strengths in is very helpful. So like, yeah, like you said, the first impression, everything.
Yeah, it's a relationship game, and you know that, like, just seeing where you've gone in the past, you know, year or 6 months, the two biggest things that come to mind is, number one, the YouTube channel that you were with. That's a huge YouTube channel. And then second off, the group that you're with now, that's a huge group, and you're touring the nation. And that comes not just from your skills, but it comes also from your personality and your relationship building and, you know, your face-to-face interactions. So yeah, interactions and building relationships is a huge one, which you've clearly mastered. If I'm at a property that has a beach view, yeah, I'm gonna highlight the fact that it's super close to the beach. You need drone shots, you need some close-ups, you need some far back, adding in some ambient noise so that the viewer feels immersed in the video. Getting all sorts of perspectives and angles and constantly changing up, like I was talking about earlier. And then another thing that I'm really trying to hone in on now is your colors. Post-production, color correcting is everything, because you can have the coolest video, and if it's like, if the blacks are crushed or the highlights are blown out, you're like, dude, this looks like a immature, you know, amateur video.
Because like without the content, you're nothing. Without the context, you failed as a person and as a videographer. You didn't do your job flat out. So I've been in pressured spots where like I'm walking down with like a big gimbal and I'm walking down the middle row, and like I miss time like Gary Vee doing like thumb war, or I miss time like Shaq doing an arm wrestle on stage. Everything from like the 8-hour event, nobody cares about that. It's those little intimate like moments that people like want to see online.
Do you find yourself enjoying performing under pressure more?
It's the big time plays. Those are home run. I call them like home run shots.
Buzzer beater, 3-point shots.
Game 7. You film, no, not discrediting you at all, but like you filming the counter shot. Those are ground balls.
Yeah, it's low pressure.
Yeah, I live for it. I really like doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm also just so used to it. Filming the big celebrities, that like I have a good time doing it. But when you're being a part of the sale, when you're showcasing a house, like how does that go about?
I operate based off flat fees. A house doesn't sell. A realtor only has a certain amount of time in their contract to sell the house. If it doesn't sell, the seller themselves might say, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and go with a different company. So that saves me in the risk. You could look at it that, you know, you missed out on a potential commission of X amount more. I don't want to roll the dice. I'm happy making my own prices and charging what I feel I'm worth. And the realtors are happy 100% of the time.
You help close the deal. And let's say these new homeowners, the value of their house goes up as years to come. The realtor couldn't close and do his job and couldn't get anybody to buy the home. It's just that, it's that gamble, and it's that what if. I'm good with the set price of
getting that guaranteed sale works the best. So yeah, but that's definitely a good way to look at it, and maybe something to consider in the future as my client base builds and, you know, I keep improving my skills. Could be something on the table.
Okay, give me $3,000 up front for my work. If the house sells, then give me like 3% of the $1 million deal. All right, now from the realtor's aspect, all right, now you're just leeching off of me. I'm betting myself as a realtor, and I'm betting on you, betting on yourself as a videographer. So like, I mean, it's just sales period. It's risk.
Unless I'm dealing with the owner of that location, then the realtor gives a percentage of their commission to the broker. And then a lot of times also they have multiple realtors who are listing the property. And so at the end of the day, whenever it's coming out of the realtor's pocket, they don't have a giant budget to, you know, just say, oh yeah, I'll give you half my commission. It's sort of a numbers game of, you know, they have a set budget on, you know, this is how much I want to use for marketing. To try and, you know, get like a back end commission would just be a little bit more complicated, and it wouldn't necessarily go through every time.
I mean, that was well explained. I didn't know about the whole brokerage thing, and like, yeah, people, the realtors aren't even like the head honchos. When you first see somebody that's like filming, I knew when I was on tour, I would have numerous like people come up to me, oh, what do you shoot with? That's their in. Like people in the media industry, oh, what do you shoot with? Oh, what camera is that? And then you go down a rabbit hole. So
if you have an iPhone, you can start on that. Like learn what ISO is, learn what shutter speed is, learn why you have certain shots, learn what the rule of third is, leading lines, lighting, stuff like that. That's what is going to bring a shot together. There's fundamentals in this, just like there is in sports, or, you know, learning a new language. You have to learn the basics first before you can try and, you know, take off and do crazy things, which when in doubt, just stick to the basics every time.
That, especially the iPhones, the 3-headed little monster. You hold these big clunky cameras, and it's just like you get a shoulder workout and you're dead at the end of the day. This iPhone, it's like, it's for the technology that's in this thing is ridiculous. So
dude, I remember when we were shooting the video in Jack's Beach, and they confiscated your camera, and you're like, oh dude, you want to go ahead and just like try and grab it? And we were about to just use the iPhone with the flashlight. Like it doesn't matter what you use.
Main people that I know that have never upgraded a day in their life since they started, the minorities, over 800,000 subscribers just on iPhone. Like they've never upgraded. It's filmed on a microwave, but it's like we said, like it's just about getting the shot and getting the context, so that way you can share it however you want. Yeah. For people starting out, we've covered, basically, we're talking this show as if people want to be aspiring filmmakers, videographers, media production people, all the above. But anything we haven't said that you want to pinpoint to those that are starting out and that are interested and want to get after it?
If you want to get serious about something, you have to fail and fail and fail and want to quit and get tired of it and hit roadblocks, get pissed off, get chewed out by somebody, send off clips to a client, they say this looks terrible, go back to a property and reshoot as many times as it takes. Like when you're new to something and you're putting yourself on the line, you can't take any of the lessons along the way personally. You just have to roll with the punches and just accept that, hey, if I want to get good at something, it's going to take a long time to get good at it and get my name out there and get a process down pat. Understand that it takes a long time. Pick something that you think you're gonna like and just give it a shot for a while. Give it a good shot and see where it takes you.
Expect 5 years of no success, no support, no income. Like you have to set that precedent with yourself, because especially with us, we're very dependent. You have to be very dependent. You have to create opportunities for yourself. You have to go out and make it happen, like without anybody calling the shots or having to hold your hand. The tour, I went with the boys of 98, like for that 13-week tour. Now, credit, I've been working and filming and doing YouTube and like freelance videography for, like, I made like spare change here or there, but that whole tour was like $500. Until I say this year, for 8 years of doing this, since my freshman year of high school until now, like I feel like 8 years in, I finally made the money that I deserve. And like that, I feel like, so even 5 years, like still, like it's about the process of, I'm a firm believer that money does buy happiness in a sense. Yeah. But like with what you're doing day in and day out, when you don't want to do it, like you still have that burning passion. You're like, all right, this ain't that bad.
The fact that you stuck at it for 8 years and now you're finally breaking through, which all credit to you, deserve this 100%. I've been seeing the grind along the way. Even like when I was back in high school watching your YouTube videos of like doing basketball and stuff like that with Drew and Cam, like you have to love what you're doing and just block out all the noise. So yeah, props to you, bro.
I'm one of the most delusional people you'll ever meet, but it's delusional confidence. If you have an idea, there's a shelf space for that idea, go ahead, pull the trigger and go through with it, because 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna have that same motivation and you're not gonna want to do it like later on. So let's move into more you as a person, Caleb. You are a Christian, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes, very proud Christian. God changed my life for the better a little over a year ago. I was just at the end of myself and I hit rock bottom, and I had tried a million different businesses. This was in the same time period of me trying out a bunch of different things before, June of last year, deciding, hey, I'm going to go back to full-time photography. 4 months prior to that, I had hit rock bottom and I was just like, dude, I'm so done. I just want to die, honestly. And I have a video, I'll make sure to put that up and send it to you.
I don't know what just happened. I was just brought to my knees. I couldn't walk. I'm so lost. This life doesn't feel real. Nothing's okay. I'm literally all alone, bro. I just want to die, honestly.
Since that time, I have full faith and I have full security knowing that he's got my back and he's gonna guide my path. Having that relationship with God has just carried me through every high and every low for, at least the past year and even before that.
That's powerful, dude. Thank you for opening up and sharing that to everybody. You have a relationship with yourself, but then if you could also add a team player like God, and you can add him walking side by side through anything, it's just very powerful. By any means, we're not priests, we're not Gandhi, we're not Oprah, we're not any of those. Like, we're just two guys that believe in the man up above.
Why are so many people interested in this? Why do so many people die for their faith? Why do so many people claim to have peace? And why does this person's life look different and they have peace through these terrible trials and circumstances? Do your own research. Like, Tim and I can suggest all sorts of things about videography and this and that, but until you actually live it and you have experiences, then I don't blame you if you say you don't believe in it. I don't blame you because you've never tried, or maybe you've had a bad experience with it.
The only logical, if you're thinking from a rational, secure point of view, the Bible is the only living proof that how we're even a thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you can find me any other text and proof with over 400 witnesses that somebody claims to be the Son of God and then dies and then gets resurrected from the grave and then actually proves himself to be the Son of God, let me know and I'll definitely give that religion a shot. But I'm very secure knowing that Jesus walked the earth, lived a perfect life, and was wrongly convicted and beat the grave, which is what separates us from heaven. He beat death, and ultimately everything that goes along with it, offering us salvation, offering us a personal relationship with him, and then experiencing that personal relationship, that's what you hold on to in the times of trial and all the low points. Like, you can't beat it. You can't ask for anything better.
I think also too, God kind of put like an ego check. He could put like ego checks sometimes. Wow, I'm so good at what I do. I'm just checking myself. And then God will hit me with a moment. He's like, all right, Tim, let's come back down to earth. Like, let's pipe down, chill out. He hits me with that way too much lately. I don't know what's going on, but.
What's your number one argument for your faith?
Argument?
Yeah. Say if you had to convince somebody this is why you should, turn your life to Jesus, what would your biggest argument or takeaway be if they had to take one thing away?
If you give it enough time, it can only be beneficial. People rarely change. So if they don't want to give it a shot or give it a chance, or they might have a life altering moment, or they, like you said, they meet somebody that alters them and like kind of points them in that direction to give it a shot. Let me flip it on you.
Community is the biggest thing that we look for. Everyone wants to be accepted. Everyone wants to go to a place that they're going to feel loved and they're going to feel heard. It's a relationship with him. And yeah, get involved in community, ask questions, and ask God to reveal himself to you.
Financially, if you don't got to tell me numbers, your own right, what is a successful month or a successful week?
If I can make $2,000 a week, that's 6 figures. How much am I willing to charge? And then how many jobs can I get throughout the week? It adds up so quickly. All I need to do is go to 3 or 4 shoots a week. And, boom, I'm already at that figure for the week. To be at a point now where I can sustain myself and not have to work a side job, which there's no shame in doing. If that's how I started out before I went full time with this. If I can make $2,000 a week or more, that's a good week for me.
I don't like the word like entrepreneur, but that's just what it is. But we're just go-getters, from one go-getter to another. If you go back, so you're mentioning valet or just younger Caleb, FIFOing things out, what would you say to them?
Number one, shiny object syndrome is a real thing. Don't take breaks. Like, I took off 2 summers ago and then 3 summers ago. Like, I didn't work because I was just like, oh, I'm so tired of this. And I'm just like confused. I don't know what I'm doing. If I would have not taken off those 3 months, then I would have been like 6 months further along than I am now. So like, as you're young, try out everything and keep trying. So don't just try something and just be like, oh, I give up. Like, just keep trying things and something's going to land.
Always be striving. Matthew McConaughey always said, your role model should be you in 10 years from now. So wherever you don't know what you're going to be doing or what you're going to be looking like, and your skills, your assets, and you as a person, you don't know what 10-year you is going to be, but that's who you should be chasing after and who you should be racing for.
Just let the change happen and let life flow naturally. The more you fight it, it's like a rip current. The more you fight it, the more you're just going to get tired out, and then you're just going to drown. Versus if you just let it take you and you swim away from it, then it's like, all right, you'll get out quicker.
Nothing is ever like that deep. Like, nothing.
It's really not.
It's really not. It's super, like, you just gotta be chill through those like tough moments. Like, a lot of the stuff you overthink about and that you feel like anxiety or like this pressure you're putting on another person, like, one, it's illegal to own people. So a lot of what you're overthinking like is not reality, and you don't have control of it. You're hurting yourself, and like, why would you put yourself through that battle?
Yeah, most of the stuff that we worry about like never even happens. Like, it's so easy to get caught up in what ifs versus what is. Like, just focus on like what's actually happening.
Is there any moments like you and your career like was a I made it moment and like you were proud of within yourself?
Yeah, a couple of years ago I was big into flipping cars, and I was living in an apartment like right on the beach with my best friends, and I just bought a Corvette, and I was like, dude, I'm 19 in a Corvette in like a beach apartment with my best friend. Like, this is it. If I die today, like I've made it. I literally said that I've made it. Now looking back on that, it's like, if I had that same outlook, I feel like right now I'd be in a low place and I'd feel stuck. But yeah, I mean, there's plenty of those moments, like even the small wins. Like today, I sent off a a video that I just shot on Camara's Avenue, downtown St. Augustine. And I was like, dude, that's a good video. I was proud of it. Like, that's a mini I made it moment. So there's been so many of those moments, you know, whether I get new gear or I land a new client, like, you're always making it. So yeah, I mean, dude, I hit those moments every week, and I also hit the, oh, I failed at life moments every week. Like, it's an up and down trend that you just got to ride the wave out on. So yeah, plenty of I made it moments, and I know there's going to be plenty more to come.
That was a great analogy. Like, there's a bunch of small I made it moments throughout the day that I think that message was powerful. I like felt that. I never thought of it that way. I found it helpful for sure. So Caleb, I have one kind of outside question. I've heard this story, word on the street, that you are, how tall? 6'3", 6'4"?
Yeah, around there, depending on the shoes I wear.
Every time I see you, every time I dab you up, and every time I'm like standing in like next to you, I always check my posture. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's tall. I was like, with being tall,
I know where this is going.
how much do you bank on your height with getting women?
Dude, I honestly, it's more the mustache recently. No, I'm just kidding. The mustache.
No, you're right. You're very right on that.
Yeah.
Just, I was contemplating, because I know you always rock yours, because like something about like a brunette with the stash, just the stash,
it's a polarizing look. Some people hate it, some people love it. So I just block out the people that hate it.
I was gonna rock it, but I didn't want to steal your thunder. So,
but yeah, I mean, height definitely helps. Like, stature, I'd say, is an important thing. Honestly, dude, I can probably say this just because I'm tall, but I don't know why women are so obsessed with dudes that are like a certain height. Like that new video that came out, that sound that went viral, where the girl's like looking for a guy in finance, 6'5". Like, why is that a criteria? Why is that a criteria? But yeah, it's helped, I guess.
We've both been blessed and fortunate to be above average. Yeah, that was kind of, I've always wanted to know that, like, how much do you, but it sounds like none at all. You don't bank on your height. There's no need. You as a person carries yourself more than how your height carries you, but it doesn't even carry you. So it's a great answer.
What are some of the things that you bank on when you're out and about, like, other than the awesome middle part?
Yeah, the long hair, like I don't look good with short hair. So I say the middle part. I mean, I'm in a committed, healthy relationship, so I'm not, but it's just like what I guess like has worked for me in the past is if you could crisp up that jawline. You don't, like, I just chew gum. That's it. Yeah. And I also like eat. I used to eat like a bunch of mini wheats, and mini wheats are like a workout to your jaw. So,
or like overcook a steak or something.
Oh,
eat like a well done steak.
So mini wheats, gum, and overcooked steak. Like, work on your jawline, teeth, hygiene, like everything. Like, you could smell really good.
Like crap either.
Women just want to know that you're well put together. But like physical features, like, yeah, the middle part. I'm a brunette with brown eyes. I have bushy eyebrows. I just like, that's what I've heard from, like, you know, my beautiful and wonderful girlfriend. So
yes, sir. You're blessed, bro.
I am.
Not everyone's got a girl like that, so that's awesome.
I always end the podcast two ways, but this way I'm gonna go alternate route with, when you watch movies, I can't relax. Like, I'm always thinking about the shots, the editing, like my mind's always racing and running. And then the pacing of the editing, like all that stuff. So for you, top 3 movies of all time.
I just watched the new Bad Boys movie. Go see that movie. It's amazing. The way that they kept it interesting throughout the whole movie, and they leaned into the cheesiness of it, because like the main actors are getting older, so they're not like these big tough guys anymore. Like, just the history of the franchise there, they really leaned into the way that, you know, times are changing, like we've gone back to so many times. Like, they're keeping up with the trends, and they did a great job of keeping the movie super interesting throughout the whole movie. I don't really want to spoil too much, but they had all sorts of different angles. The colors were like beautiful. The plot, they found a way to make the plot really you know, captivating, even though it was just the most predictable plot you could ever imagine. Another one that I liked was The Place Beyond the Pines with Ryan Gosling. Like, that taps into your emotions so much because it's just this terrible, the plot is just so depressing and it makes you feel terrible, but it's like at the same time, that's what the point of a movie is to get you like emotionally invested in it. So just the whole storyline behind that.
The main goal is to pull an emotion out of it.
When someone is emotionally invested in someone or something, it's kind of dangerous because then they sort of just bend to the will of whatever's going on.
Do you have any closing remarks or anything that you want to say to the people before we end it here? The floor is yours. Or anything from me?
Not much. Just put God first. Like that. If you're going to take anything away from this, like, life is a journey, and there's going to be so many things, and you're going to intake all this information and try a bunch of billion things out, but put God first before anything else, and it's going to work out. It might not be what you planned. Where I'm at now sure isn't where I planned to be, but like, it's going to work out. So yeah, put God first. Get good people in your circle. Like Tim Hofacker is the boy. Get people like him in your circle. And yeah, walk through the open doors and just have fun. Like, life is serious, but at the same time, it's not. So have fun along the way. Don't forget to laugh and smile and keep learning and tell people you love them. And yeah, just have a good time and get people around you and put God first. So yeah, thanks for having me, Tim. This was a great podcast. I plan on definitely being on the next one if you'll invite me back. And looking forward to making some more videos together. We got to get out to Jack's Beach again for sure.
Oh yeah,
get some more reaction videos.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll bring you back on the pod. You kind of did a little bad today, but
yeah. I wouldn't if I were you.
Yeah, if I was you, I wouldn't like me either. So
yeah,
but all right, this is the Hofacker Show with Tim Hofacker and Caleb Pearson. If you guys are watching and coming from Caleb's side, I encourage you guys to leave a like, if anything, on this video. Be sure to leave a comment down below on what you guys thought on this show. And above anything, be sure to subscribe for more shows, more interviews, and more episodes just like this. So thank you guys for watching and listening to this point. This is Tim Hofacker and Caleb Pearson on the Hofacker Show. See you guys in the next one.